Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is recovering slightly since my last video, currently as expected, and then we're going to take a look at the wave count for Bitcoin, the Elliott Wave count, my currently the most likely scenario that I think is going to play out now. And generally what we can see here, while Bitcoin is recovering today a little bit, the altcoins also recovering a little bit more than Bitcoin, as we often see it. Near protocol performing really well at the moment again, 8% came out of the blue I think here, and also Monero doing really well. So yeah, cryptos are recovering, altcoins are recovering after they were yesterday really dumped. We saw a lot of altcoins coming down much more than Bitcoin, and they are now starting to recover because they were, a lot of them were oversold on the shorter time frames. So while Bitcoin is hovering sideways, moving up a little bit, you can see it here, 2.19% upside on TradingView here on Bitstamp. The currently most likely scenario that I think is playing out here is that Bitcoin obviously came down, that this here was a wave 4. Yeah, and that we have come down already. I showed you yesterday here the Elliott Wave count. I'm just going to put it on the chart again, where we had this as a wave 1, this here as a wave 2, coming down here in a wave 3, moving up in a wave 4, and the next wave could then take us down into my target area below 29k. Again, if I zoom in a little bit, you can see that we are currently doing that. Yeah, so yesterday in the video I showed you that this here would be important support, that in this wave 3 I would expect the price to go there, because not only because it is an ascending trend line and a technical support level, but also because of the Fibonacci extension levels of that third wave. So let's just see if we can put it on the chart here properly. And yeah, we can see that here the price reached, so the minimum target for a wave 3 is the 1.618 Fib extension. That would have been 41,000, but when we made the video that was already broken, so it was quite logical to reach the 200% Fib extension at 39,500, especially as this was also the logical support, because it's the ascending support line of that channel in which Bitcoin is. Now I told you that after that, what I would expect, that we are seeing a turnaround and that we are going to retrace here into this wave 4 target area. Now we're not quite there yet, but we see a retracement currently in line with expectations, and we can measure that retracement, of course. So let's take the Fib retracement, and you can see here that the minimum the price would need to do in this retracement is 40,974. It could already then turn around and move down further. The most likely one would be the 38.2% Fib level, 42,354. And the most bullish option of this scenario would be that the price is going to reach 43,323. That's the 50% Fib retracement. Now, what Bitcoin often does, and we have seen it throughout this whole downtrend from middle of November till now, Bitcoin really often reaches that 38.2 or the 50% retracement. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually reach that 43,323 US dollar level. Yeah, so bear that in mind. Okay, and from here then I would expect a turnaround. Only if the price moves above that area, then I would consider again that we are moving higher. Yeah, because at the moment this retracement that we are doing at the moment is basically part of this scenario, this downside scenario. I would also prefer that scenario, because the faster we can get the sell-off, the faster we can also get a true recovery. I mean, nobody's really interested in these small recoveries here within this channel in which Bitcoin is currently trading. We want a proper recovery. We want new all-time highs. That is what we're looking out for. But before we get to new all-time highs, what we want is to buy at a discount. And I think this area here would give a lot of people a possibility for discounts, to buy at a discount. Now, I'm not telling you that we necessarily will get into this area between 20 and 29k, because I don't know where the low will be. But in my opinion, that is the most likely version, the most likely option. This is where typically in such an expanded flat correction in which Bitcoin currently is, the price would land, because it would be we need to make that lower low, and the lower low compared to the wave A that happened back in June. So that was at around 28.7k, and you want to come lower in a wave C. That is just the most likely scenario. Also, in addition to that, we haven't seen yet that capitulation phase in Bitcoin, where a lot of people just leave the market. People were still bullish around the previous low here at 33k. So we haven't really been bearish enough yet, and that is a necessary part of financial cycles. You need to get this capitulation phase. We haven't seen it yet, and therefore I'm very skeptical about any uptrend here. Now, this is for me the most likely scenario, that we're going to go down straight away, because we have broken important support levels, and we are still above this ascending trend line, of course. But as I said, I do expect a little bit of a recovery now in a wave 4, because also the indicators were very much oversold on the 4 hour, on the 8 hour, on the 1 hour. So get that recovery in, and then you could exit that channel here to the downside, and then we get finally out of this channel, and then we would, in a first instance, in my opinion, get to that 34.5k level. That would be the next main support level. Now, all of that is not going to happen overnight. Is there a chance to still move into this area first here, so move up into this region here, which is sitting between 55 and 65k, and then come down? This is now my alternative scenario based on a different wave count, A, B, C. The chances, in my opinion, are still there, but they are very, very low. And to do that, the price would need to break above that wave 4 target area. Then I will consider it again. And this is 43.4k. So it's tough at the moment. I can tell you that it's tough at the moment, because we are still here in an inner channel, which probably doesn't make it easier for those waves to play out. It is a more complex correction that is happening here, and it really makes it quite difficult. It makes it difficult. Originally, I anticipated that this here would already be the wave 4. Then we started a sell-off, came up again. See, it's up and down. It just extends that whole correction, and now I have to assume that this is the wave 4, because it just has shifted up a little bit. In no way it's been invalidated. It just became a little bit less likely with that wave 4, because it that move to the upside here was just quite was a little bit exaggerated, and I think this definitely could have been triggered by some whales, including the Luna Foundation that is heavily buying Bitcoin, and also maybe MicroStrategy. So we need to be aware of that there is a lot of dynamic in the market, and sometimes some of these scenarios, a certain level might be broken just briefly, and we need to be careful that we're not tricked into a certain scenario that might not have started yet. So I'll definitely take that on board as a learning for myself, that these levels are dynamic, and that here a lot of whales are obviously in the market, buying and selling, but certainly a lot of accumulation happening. So a lot of people ask me, what happens when we get down into this target area? Well, my view is we get a recovery. My view is we get a fast recovery. Now, again, I could be wrong, but for me that is logical, because generally the on-chain data and the metrics and adoption is just going on. But I still think Bitcoin cannot behave differently than other financial markets, and also is bound to the same rules and the same probabilities and the same sentiment shifts, and people always behave in the same way, and therefore the Elliott waves do work, and therefore, I think we are going to get here, but then we can see a fairly quick recovery. We've seen that before. I don't think we're going to enter a long bear market, but I think that this stage would mark that capitulation phase, and that is what we need, in my opinion, to complete that correction. Now, whatever way we get there, either up first into this area here, then down, or down straight away. In my opinion, we're going to end here. I think it would be preferable to go there straight away. Would be faster, would be better for everybody, and just get this correction complete, and then we can get back to new all-time highs. Now, that's my view on Bitcoin. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Also follow us on Instagram and Twitter. You can find the official links for that in the description. Make sure you don't follow a scam account, just follow the official ones, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully you like the update. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.